changed a bit. They're still right at the throat from the opening whistle, and we wouldn't want it any other way. 2-2 game. The second period begins with full strength. Oh, why not? We'll stop the play and put it back in the North Dakota zone.
There's some great bursts in that first period as far as play went. We didn't have a lot of stoppages at some different legs in the first period, and great for a little bit of activity for the players as well. Both teams skating very hard. Both teams right now trying to get that next goal, obviously the Sioux trying to get that lead once again.
From the draw, the puck blocked in traffic, and the Gophers retrieve and neutralize. You know, one of the few things about those clips from 1980 that gives it away is all the hair coming out the back of the helmets. Those guys had afros and bushies and the Fu Manchu mustaches, too. Don't forget those. The ever popular. That was the year after the Gophers won the national championship. The Sioux were the two-time defending conference champs. I think the Gophers won it that year. Puck is back in the North Dakota zone. Top by Brad Bombardier of the Sioux. And they come out. Nick Nomenko is there. Here's Craig Johnson from Minnesota at his own blue line. We're in the first minute of the second period. Bell saved by Lemke. And Bell piles into Jeff Lemke, the North Dakota goalie. Will have a stoppage of play and a penalty on Scott Bell.
Well, Bell was in behind the Sioux defenders. Coming in off the bench, he took that pass, but he's going to get a penalty probably for interference. He went right into the goaltender. He could have avoided him, but I think he was hoping after he took the shot, he shot right at the goaltender to begin with, and then he went right into him, and he could have avoided him, and so he'll be called on the penalty call. As you look at it once again, but a nice play, or heads-up play right from the beginning. I believe that was Johnson who made the pass up, or was it Nielsen? Yes. I'm not sure. I think it was Johnson.
It was Craig Johnson.
But he made the perfect pass right on the stick of Scott Bell, who went in all by himself, but Lemke equal to the task.
The penalty is technically called checking the goalie in the privileged area. "53 seconds in the second period. He checked him in the privileged area." That's right. And so North Dakota's on the third power play of the night. On the fourth power play, rather, 1 for 3. Here in the Sioux zone is Chad Johnson. And North Dakota comes out. Greg Johnson angles it away to Chris Kotzman. Hendrickson now at neutral ice. Short-handed Craig Johnson of Minnesota. Up through a crowd, off McAlpine. Gottsman could not get to the puck, and it winds up at neutral. Now Nick Nomenko. Nomenko, number 6 for the North Dakota Sioux, with 1:21 to go in their power play. 4th one of the night. Craig Johnson, short-handed, 3-on-2. Chris McAlpine down the right board, centering, broken up. Nomenko, who's cut? Chris Johnson hit the goal post. Chip shot did not go in, and everybody comes in with a lumber now. Craig Johnson screaming for a penalty. He can't believe it. But it will not be called. I'm not sure whether it should have been or not.
Well, he's a little bit upset, but you can look at the Gophers going for the net. Here's a shot coming initially from McAlpine. Goes off the defender's stick, and look at Lemke trying to get that puck. But right there, number 14, Johnson and top of it, trying to get to it. The puck is laying there. He's hit pretty hard. Everybody coming into it, knocking the net off of its magnets, and so there will be a stoppage of play, but the Gophers coming very close on this power play opportunity once again.
Craig Johnson turned around quickly and hit the goal post. Craig Johnson not only annoyed that he hit the post, but that there wasn't a penalty back there. He's down behind Mark Mazzolini, the Minnesota assistant coach. He was hot. Meanwhile, they'll do some goal crease keeping, if you will, down in the North Dakota area, and I think they snapped the standard off.
Oh boy.
There's no standard there. There's not the low nub standard they use in professional hockey. It's a little bit higher one, and they've gone to get the implement here to work on it. They also got driven down deeper in the ice. I don't know if you can do that or not, the way this is set up. That's why the stoppage of play. They piled into the goal so hard that they not only knocked it off the standard, they knocked off the standard.
He's going ice fishing. I can tell you.
Oh, that's what it is. Give me my eel pout. It's a 2-2 game. We'll be right back.
taste a couple of beers?
Sure. You bet.
So which do you prefer?
This one. That's a beer.
Here's Budweiser, and this is Coors Extra Gold.
Oh, whoa!
What if I told you Coors Extra Gold was brewed far longer than Bud?
No idea.
70% longer.
I guess there's surprises all the time.
Slow brewed for that real beer flavor and color, the way beer was meant to be, which may be why 58% of Bud drinkers prefer Coors Extra Gold.
Be 90%.
Coors Extra Gold. If you're missing real taste, beer is back.
Incredible. These are awesome facts.
Your first look at tonight's news. Join Primetime News nightly at 9 here on 9. We'll give you Primetime News updates again later on. The next intermission from the Channel 9 newsroom. With Tom Reed, this is Doug McLeod. Well, they got the standard back on. I'm not sure they got it screwed all the way in, however. It looked like the net was a little bit high. There you see there's a little bit of a... Well, thanks, Jay. We appreciate that. There's the derriere of Jay Borman.
Looking good.
Looking good, Jay. Always vision in black. Power play running. 55 seconds for the North Dakota Fighting Sioux. It's a 2-2 game. Puck in the Gopher zone and a chance now to Brad Bombardier. They play it on the corner boards for Greg Johnson. Sioux with the puck, 42 seconds in their power play. They tried to lay one for a deflection by Marty Schreiner, but no. Now up high, it's Bear and Bombardier. Burton popped it up, Bombardier to Bear. Johnson in the right circle, Stiggy pulls out, Bear in the circle is Schreiner. Down went Travis Richards. Here comes Greg Johnson for North Dakota, right in front for Bombardier. But it was cleared out of the zone by Stiggy.
Gophers doing a good job playing the box formation, keeping the puck on the outside. The Sioux not able to get any shots on the goaltender at this point on the power play.
Greg Johnson for Schreiner. Off the stick of Jeff Callanan, the Minnesota goalie. Now we've played almost 3 minutes of this period. Minnesota has 5 shots. The Sioux have none. That is the end of the power play. Gophers full strength. North Dakota with a puck, but Bombardier has to hang on and go to the corner with it. So North Dakota got no shots on goal on that power play. 0 shots on Jeff Callanan. Now Minnesota comes on. It is Dietzig. Got his pocket picked by Marty Schreiner. Travis Richards in his own zone for Minnesota. Treble is his partner. He'll lay it ahead. McHugh almost had the break, and Lemke wants no part of that. Lemke very wisely, with the speed coming down there, put the stick down.
Nice play by Richards as he had the puck deep in his own zone. They were able to feather it through the defenders with McHugh standing just on the other side of the red line. And that's a good, smart defenseman, the captain of the Gophers, making that play. Look how far he had to go with that. McHugh in a good position for it, had it, tried to control it, came in on the goaltender. You can see just looking for that loose puck, but Lemke made a smart decision there to hang on to it rather than give it away.
16:34 to go in the second period of a 2-2 hockey game with Tom Reed, Doug McLeod at Mariucci Arena. Now here's the new Vulcan line. Greg Shepard, the referee, has tossed out Chad Johnson, and in comes Reniak. Remember, if you come in and you get tossed out, that's a delay penalty. Treble. Through a crowd, Larson got turned around. Dan Woog, Dustin, and Larson. And tacked line brought in for the St. Paul Vulcans. Did not play last night. Playing as a line here for the most part tonight. Wasley and Treble, so it's a 5 freshman look for Minnesota right now. They have quite a few hits, but that was a 4th one. Here's Treble. Dustin in his own zone for Minnesota. Drive on the fly by Corey Howe. 5 freshmen off for the Golden Gophers now. Out to neutral ice. A sophomore goalie who was only in a handful of games last year. Bobby Dustin fires and is blocked by Dean Grillo. Dustin played it free from Grillo, and here goes Dan Woog to the corner. Shipped it for Dustin. Chris McAlpine on, fires high and wide. McAlpine just on for Minnesota. Dustin stick handling at the hash mark. McAlpine there now. And Dan Woog is down in the left faceoff circle. And in comes Bell. Bell is going to do some police work and take on 2 North Dakota Sioux. Corey Howe is the guy who whacked Dan Woog, and Scott Bell has him all tied up.
Well, Bell wasted no kind coming in after
You bet.
Howe had hit Woog and got him down, and Bell came up as quickly as he possibly could to defend his teammate. You talk about using the freshman, how important it is on the coach's side, but also for those players to get that ice time, to get the confidence. And the Gophers have responded here. The Sioux sitting back a little bit right now. They're trying to work themselves out of this little bit of a hole they put themselves in by allowing the Gophers to get the momentum. The Sioux have got to continue to play aggressive hockey like they did early on, but the Gophers have the idea that they're not going to allow it.
Bell and Howe will be off, and we'll take a break in a 2-2 second period.
Twin Cities Leather and Boot, your source for quality name brand leather jackets and boots. Right now, Twin Cities Leather and Boot is having a huge blowout sale on leather bomber jackets and leather motorcycle jackets for only $89.95. Remember, the Twin Cities Leather and Boot has the lowest prices in town on name brand leather jackets during their huge leather jacket blowout sale going on now. So why not shop Twin Cities Leather and Boot in downtown Hopkins, Blaine, and the Burnhaven Mall in Burnsville.
Well, there was an initial penalty to start with, and that was going against Bell of Howe of North Dakota, and he had tripped down Woog, and that kind of brought everyone into the melee after the whistle. But you'll see Bell, and you can see Woog down on the ice right now, but watch Bell as he comes right in towards number 8 and takes a little piece of Howe as the sticks get up. That's the one thing in this game, Doug, I've noticed, is the sticks are getting higher and higher as these players grapple. But when I say high, I mean they're up around the neck area, the face area. Yep. And with the helmets and so on, you think the players are protected, but there's still a lot of damage that can be done. And I wish the officials would clamp down on those type of rules. Get those sticks down like you mentioned a few moments ago.
I do too.
In the NHL.
The NHL, we were talking about that while we were off. The NHL this year has gone to a new high sticking rule where any contact above the waist, it's not even the shoulders, it's the waist, and that includes just laying your stick on a guy, pulling him in a little bit, going by. It's a high sticking penalty, and they're calling them in the National League, and this league is just about to get out of hand with that kind of thing.
The one thing is the players will do as much as they can get away with.
Sure they will.
And right now in the NHL, they will continue to do that kind of stuff, and eventually they know they're going to be called for penalties. It'll start to slow down.
That's right.
You'll see less and less of it, which will open up the game. It looks like Doug Woog must have got sprayed with something here. Pot of water or whatever he had over there.
Everything's flying here tonight. I wouldn't take a guess about it, I'll tell you that much. It's a double minor to Bell for roughing. 4 minutes to Scott Bell for Minnesota. A double minor for roughing to Corey Howe, plus the initial interference penalties. So 6 minutes to Howe. 2 minutes for interference, 4 minutes for roughing. 24 minutes in penalties on the Sioux now. Double minor for roughing on Scott Bell. 26 minutes in penalties on the Golden Gophers. So we've had 50 minutes. Oh, we'll easily do an hour tonight. 50 minutes in penalties. That's the benchmark of a good Minnesota-North Dakota game. You know, if you don't get an hour in penalties, the boys are just not concentrating. We'll easily get that tonight. 18-13 Minnesota in shots on goal. The first time the Gophers have had a shots on goal lead. And interestingly now, 4:37 into the second, the Sioux do not have a shot in this period, after the Gophers went nearly 11 minutes without a shot. It's a power play for Minnesota, the third one of the night for the Golden Gophers. The game all tied up at 2. The Sioux got the first 2, the Gophers got the next 2, and here we are off to the races. Nielsen to the point for Travis Richards. Darby Hendrickson is out there and will float down the wing, and Richards will go back to the right point where he's supposed to be. Chris McElroy the other side, drive lost in traffic by Lemke, who hits the deck, and Nielsen could not get turned around to get a shot away. Oh, Nielsen got blasted on a terrific check by Nick Nomenko. Whoa, did Nomenko put the freight on him? Legit check, but it was a cruncher. Nomenko, I was talking about it last night. Boy, Nomenko knows how to hit, doesn't he? Back down comes Darby Hendrickson. Here's Nielsen for Minnesota. Fencing with Bombardier in the corner. And cranked by Nomenko. Chris McAlpine thought he had it, but Nomenko cranked it so hard that it still went out of the zone.
You know, Nomenko's not very big. He's only about 175 pounds, but he likes to use his body. He loves the physical part of this game.
He's a good player. He's going to be an impact player. He is already. Freshman defenseman for the North Dakota Fighting Sioux. Halfway through the Minnesota power play, Gophers keep it in. Travis Richards slides it. McAlpine tees it up, and he scores! Chris McAlpine on a power play. And the Golden Gophers take the first lead of the game. It's 3-2 Minnesota.
Well, Doug, we talked in the first period about the unselfish play by North Dakota on a goal. This time it was Travis Richards making the play at 5:42 as the puck, he had it on his stick, but he played over to McAlpine. McAlpine kind of looked like he was going to take the good hard wrist shot, but he eluded to go to the backhand, kind of deke a little bit, got the goaltender to spread the legs, and put it in behind. And for the first time in this hockey game, the Gophers have taken the lead 3-2 on the goal by McAlpine.
Chris McAlpine, who had 2 assists last night, gets his first goal of the year, a power play goal, and it's 3-2. As Tom mentioned, the first time the Gophers have been in the saddle tonight. McAlpine puts it in. Travis Richards will get an assist and a good one. And Jeff Nielsen will get another one. Well, they've only announced an assist to Nielsen, but that's incorrect. They'll have to get that squared away because that's not right. We saw clearly Travis Richards make a great play. Now the Sioux come back. 6 minutes into the second, it's a 3-2 Gopher lead. A little deep by Akil Adams, and the Gophers steal it back. It is 3-on-2 as Joe Dietzich crosses the line. Checked off, and here comes the try by Brian Bonnet. Back out comes North Dakota. Chad Johnson angling to neutralize. We've got a hockey game now, and that will golf out and nail the Big Ten championship banner from 1979-80. Always one of the strange things that there was a Big Ten championship. Akil Adams and McHugh were popping each other a little bit, and Adams would like to get a penalty on McHugh. And the referees, Shepard and Borman, will break things up. There will be no penalty yet.
Well, Doug, we've seen a good showing of freshmen in this hockey game so far. You look at the Fighting Sioux with 6 freshmen on their squad. The Gophers with 7 on their squad here tonight. So we're getting a lot of inexperience, but they're not showing it out here. Bonnet had a good chance in the Sioux zone as he was trying to go to the backhand, but the defenseman just pushed him at the last second. And that's the one thing when you get beat, you got to stay on top of the play. The defenseman doing a good job for the Sioux as they push Bonnet just enough to throw him off balance and take that shot away.
Now it is Greg Johnson against Steve Magnuson. Not. Magnuson tossed out of the face-off, and in comes John Brill from Minnesota. Johnson wins the draw. Bombardier gets it into the zone. Travis Richards and Brandon Steege. Steege, a forward who had been destined to play some defense this year, was put on D right away last night, and he's out again tonight. So he's way offside, and so they'll let it go. And we'll face it off back at neutral. 13:22 to go in the second period. It is 3-2 Minnesota. The go-ahead goal, Chris McAlpine on a power play from Travis Richards at 5:42 of the second.
And that fellow right there, number 16, John Brill, doing a good job getting a big goal to tie up this hockey game.
North Stars on home ice tonight against the Gretzky-less Los Angeles Kings. In the second, Stars 3 and LA 1. A couple of big North Star games later on this week here on Channel 9. Al Shaver and Ralph Strangis will be in Edmonton and in Vancouver, so stay up late with it. And don't forget to set your clock tonight. We go back to standard time early in the morning tomorrow. Get that pesky hour back. Is that right, Paul?
I set mine last week, so I wouldn't have to worry about it.
Hey, and you've been meeting yourself coming and going ever since, haven't you?
I've been late for work every day.
That's all right. Swatman at neutral ice. Hitting picks up again. That time everything came to a standstill right at the Sioux blue line, and the play was offside on Minnesota. 3-2 Gophers. The Gophers have scored the last 3 goals. 12:46 to go in the second period. And the face-off comes at neutral ice. Wood wins the draw from Schreiner and pops it into the North Dakota zone. Here is Darren Bear. Sioux trying to get out of the zone. Gophers forechecking 2. Bobby Dustin and Dan Wood. Larson shoots one. Hit the equipment apparently of Jeff Lemke, the Sioux goalie. Back out of neutral ice, North Dakota's Chris Gottsman will dump it in. Sioux chasing to the corner boards. Dan Wood was not going to let Darcy Matani get in there. Bumped ahead by Swatman. Darren Bear is there. Back out comes Gottsman. Swatman hustling to catch up. Gottsman shot a save by Callahan. Golden Gophers come back. It's 3-on-2 through neutral. Here comes the Vulcan line. Wood breaking in. Delayed penalty coming on the North Dakota Sioux. And the puck actually was lost in the equipment of Nick Namenko. Now everybody hold the temper here because the Gophers are going to get a power play.
That's right. Gophers are just turned away. At this point, they need that power play once again. Sioux trying to goad them into getting a penalty so they would even strength, but Gophers have nothing to do with it. And right now we've got number 15, Marty Schreiner, going to the box. It's going to be a slashing call against him.
Schreiner, a big, tough, physical forward.
Woog is also going.
Looks like Dan Woog is going to go too. Well, Woog will hold his temper in the future because the Gophers had a power play, but Danny Woog is going to go in too, and so there will be none now. 8:02 of the second period. The time of the penalties on Marty Schreiner of North Dakota and Dan Woog of Minnesota.
That'll be tough when you're coach's son. You hear about it here at the rink, and you go home, anytime you hear about it there too.
Slashing Miners, coincidental, at 8:02 of the second period. 3-2 Minnesota the score. And again, the new rule in the WCHA this year, I'll just recap, is that coincidental minors do not leave teams shorthanded, which had been the rule in the NHL for many years. And as I repeat, the NHL has now gone to the college rule where coincidentals will leave the team shorthanded.
I like the old rule because it really opens up the game. It gives you a chance to see players 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 4-on-3, and so on. And it makes it a little more exciting for the players too, especially on a big ice surface.
Treble fires one, lost in traffic. Down goes Lemke, and it's in there somewhere.
With a bank shot, that shot coming from Treble from the point wasn't a hard shot, but it was towards the net, and that's what you want to do. A lot of traffic in front, screen the goaltender. Someone got a piece of equipment just on the puck, just enough to deflect it, as the Gophers successful in winning that draw once again, and that's the key in your own zone. You got to win the draw. The Sioux didn't do that, and that gave the opportunity to the Gophers to get another shot on net, but Lemke doing a good job of getting that outstretched glove on top of the puck and forcing the face-off once again. We've got 11:54 to go in period number 2 here at the Mariucci Arena. The Gophers lead the Sioux by a score of 3-2.
The Johnsons square off. No decision. Treble reaching, but it was poked away by Curtin. Offside now in the very momentary possession of the Sioux. Boy, they didn't have it for long, but apparently long enough to get linesman Tim Swider to call him offside.
One of the areas that the Gophers have been successful in shutting down Greg Johnson. Not a lot of opportunities in his part. He's got the shots on net right now, and you can see the gap in that second period where the Gophers have a 7-shot margin now in the second period.
Fans applauding the announcement of the score we gave you a moment ago. The North Stars leading the Los Angeles Kings out of Met Center tonight. Puck in the Minnesota zone. Outlets kept in. A drive by Nomenko and a blocker save by Jeff Callanan of Minnesota. Here's the golden Gophers, Greg Johnson. Nielsen in front of him. He goes cross ice. Stiege leads the play. Hendrickson there. Darby Hendrickson out of the corner for Minnesota. Checked off it by Nomenko. Brad Bombardier throws it ahead. Greg Johnson for the Sioux. McKinnon had a piece of it. Bodies are flying. A poke by Nomenko. Greg Johnson of the Gophers just onside. Shoots long enough. Pad save by Jeff Lemke. Just caught it broad on the left pad.
Good speed by Craig Johnson as he picked up that puck outside. He was able to move around the defense and got the good shot, trying to go for the far side. But look at the maneuvers here. Good lateral move coming around, going around the defense, and right here, getting the shot away. And Lemke able to come out with that left pad of his, smother the puck. But a good job all the way around by Johnson. As you can tell, he's turned on the burners here in this hockey game.
Really has. Good reach there to get it around Bombardier, who had him had a pretty good angle on him. And of course, the back-checking defenseman has to play an angle. You play a guy straight on, and you're going to be in for an unhappy night. Plus, you're going to screen your goalie. Then you're going to be in for an unhappy rest of the night. Chip shot by Chris McAlpine hit Chad Johnson. Now in neutral, McAlpine chasing. Easy going to check, send Chad Johnson down. Sioux wanted a penalty, but nothing there. Just over 9 minutes into the second period. Here's a center with a chip by Riniak that didn't go. McHugh comes back out for Minnesota. It's 4-on-2, but the puck turned back by Darren Barron. Now it's 2-on-1 for the Sioux. A drive by Grillo. Flangs off the crossbar. And with 10:32 to go in the second, it's a 3-2 doozy.
What Why pay full price for appliances when you can save 20 to 40% every day at the Appliance Outlet Center? We liquidate GE scratch and dent appliances, and these minor surface flaws mean major savings for you. What's more, every GE microwave, dishwasher, range, refrigerator, washer, and dryer comes with a full GE factory warranty, plus a 90-day same-as-cash financing program on all appliances. Get the best GE appliance values in the Twin Cities at the Appliance Outlet Center, 7087 Shady Oak Road, 1 mile south of the Crosstown.
Well, the Sioux coming close once again as that shot, as Doug mentioned, ranged off the crossbar, and the Gophers can't afford to get too cutesy in their own zone. They're kind of leaving that slot area open a little bit. They're trying to be a little bit too offensive-minded, and they want to get back to the basics that got them the 3-quick goals.
That's the kind of thing got them in trouble a little bit early last night as well. Minnesota comes back out. Here is Justin McHugh driving on Bombardier, put it to the Sioux zone. DJ! Chip shot, Bonnet, no! The poke check by Lemke gets it away. Oh, and Brian Bonnet nearly had one. Now Charlie Wasley after it. Gotzman and Wasley locked up in the Minnesota zone. And dribble there, popped by Bonnet. John Brill whoops right to the point to Darren Bear, but it hit traffic coming in. Now Dan Treble. Here's Brill crossing with Nielsen on his right. Brill trying to get around Bear. Magnuson pokes it. Nielsen checked and decked by Jared Olson. Puck in the left corner in the North Dakota zone. 3-2 Minnesota leads halfway through the second, and it popped away from Travis Richards. Richards still holding. Richards all the way. Right to the body. Hold down Magnuson. Checked off it by Riendo. Magnuson, Brill down. Magnuson down. Nielsen drives it out of the crowd. Travis Richards through a whole bunch of folks and on to Kevin McKinnon, who laces it out of the zone. Wow.
Well, the Sioux scrambling a little bit right now as the Gophers continue to put the pressure on, and the Sioux very alert to the fact that if you can't control it, shoot the puck, get a stoppage play, get some fresh players out there, and that's what they did. Good move by Travis Richards. Goes to the outside, coming in on the offside right now, loses his glove, but still gets a shot on the net. And look at, once again, the Gophers going for that area as Magnuson trying to get to that net, trying to get that loose puck. You battle it, you battle it, you battle it, and hopefully you can get to it at some point. Once again, we talked also earlier about the Gophers and their ability to move in, and there's a good look at Brian Bonnet coming and taking the pass, maintaining his skates. So he's very strong in his skates. When you look at a player, not very tall, but he's got that wide stance. He's able to control himself and keep his balance for most of the efforts.
Darby Hendrickson is stapled up to the boards by Greg Johnson. He got away anyway. Johnson got a splinter on it. Got helped out by his defenseman, Nick Nomenko. Should have another icing call here on North Dakota. And we will. 8:52 to go in the second period. Minnesota 3, North Dakota 2. Brad Bombardier has done yeoman work here so far. The alternate captain of the North Dakota Fighting Sioux, and has done so all weekend, and did so all last year for that matter. 24-16 Minnesota in shots on goal now. The Gophers with 12, the Sioux with 3 in this period, which is 11 minutes and 8 seconds old. Darby Hendrickson now squares for the face-off against North Dakota's Greg Johnson. If it seems to you as though Greg Johnson has been on the ice all night, it's because he just about has. If it seems to you as though Darby Hendrickson has been on the ice all night, it's because he just about has. These two lines have matched up all night long. Johnson, Hendrickson, and Bell for Minnesota. Hendrickson fires, and a save by Jeff Lemke.
The Gophers doing a good job of winning the faceoffs, especially in the opposition zone. That's where you want to win them, to get those good shots away.
Bombardier got it out for Greg Johnson, but nothing doing now in the Minnesota zone for the Sioux. They dig in the corner boards. Brandon Stiggy trying to pull it away, and does, from Keith Murphy. Stiggy stick handling through neutral, lost the puck, and there's Keith Murphy for North Dakota offside. On the way to Greg Johnson.
Murphy trying to get the puck a little bit quicker to Greg Johnson, unable to do so, and through the captain of the Sioux offsides as he comes to the bench for a well-deserved rest. Stiggy playing a very strong game. He gets a little bit anxious at times and moves up in that defensive position and allows a 2-on-1 a lot of times. You got to play it smart. You got to look at the play and determine, can I go ahead or can I not go ahead? If you haven't got a chance to get that puck, you're better off to stay back to help out your defensive partner.
St. Cloud State and Wisconsin in the third period at the Dane County Coliseum in Madison. 3-1 Huskies. It's going to be a big early season win for Craig Dahl and the boys tonight. That feathers out of the glove of Jeff Lemke. Now here is Bobby Dustin for Minnesota. Larson checked by Darren Bear. They grind away. You see Dustin trying to do a little spade work and dig it free there, but he can't quite get a splinter on it. Everybody piles up, and the puck squirts out. Dustin had it for a second. Hot potato, and now Chad Johnson got it out of the zone for North Dakota, and Dan Woog fired it right back in again. Darren Bear, now Larson behind the net. Dustin backhandled it, but a blind pass picked off by Scott Curtin of North Dakota. On the tape for Dean Grillo to center. Grillo got dumped by Chris McAlpine. Open ice heading going as Dan Woog sends Greg Johnson to the deck. Here's Minnesota's Dave Larson in his own zone. Stepped partly out of the check. That hit Woog at the point. Boys are really coming together out there tonight. It's fired back into the Minnesota zone, so much so that the hitting is taking precedence over puck control several times in this particular minute or so. North Dakota's Darcy Matani. Brian Bonnet sniffed that one out, but threw it blindly, and it's picked off by Akil Adams of North Dakota. Chris McAlpine in his own zone. A hit now for McHugh. A horse race with Jared Olson. McHugh slipped it for Bonnet, but Jared Olson had it and then lost it. Bonnet on the deck. McHugh going to the corner with Olson. Jared Olson got it ahead for Chris Gottsman. Threw it out to neutral for Schreiner, but the Gophers retrieve. McHugh broken up by Schreiner. Now Akil Adams for North Dakota. 6:39 to go in the second period. Gophers 3, North Dakota 2. Very entertaining hockey for those of you who love these good old Gophers. Sioux, get to it. It's 3-2 Minnesota, and we'll take a break.
From turf to the court, the diamond to the field, the slope to the rink, you can get it in an instant. Instant Replay Sports can give you instant savings or instant cash for your sports equipment. Instant Replay specializes in new and used hockey equipment. Plus, you save with instant cash trade-ins for all used gear. Cash in and stretch your sports dollars in an instant. Instant cash, instant savings on new and used equipment at Instant Replay Sports. Open 7 days a week in downtown Hopkins and Bloomington.
This period of Gopher action is brought to you by Coors Extra Gold. Slow brewed for real beer flavor. Coors Extra Gold. No doubt about it, beer is back.
Well, the Sioux have iced the puck about 8 times in this period, trying to slow the pace down of the Gophers, and the face-off once again coming to the right of the North Dakota netminder.
Some updates on scores for you as we follow the puck into the Minnesota zone. Jeff Callahan, the Gopher goalie, away for Dan Treble. Now out comes Magnuson. Turned off it nicely by Keith Murphy, and here's the puck to the Sioux, Greg Johnson. Callahan for Brill behind the net. Just before he got checked by Keith Murphy, he got it to the corner. McKinnon trying to retrieve for the Sioux, but there is Minnesota's Jeff Nielsen. Gophers have 2 guys offside, so they'll just have to dog it there till everybody's back at neutral ice. Rugby scrum. Freed finally by Nielsen. That in traffic. Is that onside? Yes. Magnuson on a knee. Brill punches it deep. In front. Magnuson shots and rebound. Score! John Brill has his second goal of the night. The Gophers got a couple of point-blank deck-level tries on to Jeff Lemke. The rebound goal goes to Brill. His second of the night and the season, and the Gophers lead 4-2.
Well, a big goal for Minnesota once again. They fought back from a 2-0 deficit in this game. Have a 2-goal lead right now. You've got to play the angles. You've got to be in position to get that loose puck. And watch right here as the play unfolds. Initially in front of the net, and that was number 15, Steve Magnuson, who had the initial shot. The rebound comes right out to Brill, who's in the right position. Stick down in the ice. He just takes it. The netminder Lemke has no chances. You can see there's nobody there to help him out. And so John Brill puts it away to give the Gophers not a comfortable lead, but a lead, because the Fighting Sioux are determined to come back.
John Brill from Magnuson and Nielsen. Here's Hendrickson, shoots and hit the goal post. Delayed penalty coming on North Dakota. Chip shot, score! The Gophers score on the chip. Darby Hendrickson. And they look like they just won the Stanley Cup. WCHA Freshman of the Year last year, Darby Hendrickson, has been sniffing around that goal for 2 nights, but he hasn't been able to get anything. In it goes on a little chipper, and the Gophers lead 5-2.
Well, he talked before about being in the right position. There's the initial shot. Lemke all by himself here as everyone starts moving towards the puck. You can see everyone pulling away. Little chip shot, not a lot, deflects just enough. And look at Lemke. And there's Hendrickson all in behind to put it away. He comes right to the net. Everyone goes to the front. He's to the side. Nobody to bother him until after the goal's in the net, and then it's too late.
Greg Johnson and Travis Richards get the assists on Darby Hendrickson's first goal of the year at 14:36 of the second period. 2 goals 16 seconds apart by Minnesota. They have broken open a 2-2 game and now made it 5-2. Chris McAlpine got a power play goal earlier in the period to go ahead for the first time in the game. And the interesting thing about those 2 goals, Tommy, 16 seconds apart, those are the only full-strength goals the Gophers have scored tonight, or the only 5-on-5 goals, I should say, because they had 2 power play goals and a 4-on-4 goal. I was about to mention that about Brill. Before I could do it, Hendrickson tipped one in. Now it's 5-3.
Now this really opens things up for the Gophers right now. You could tell just by the reaction on the last goal, not so much the other goals, but the last goal, the way the team responded. Hey guys, now we're starting to put it together. And the Sioux have been trying to thwart their efforts by the Gophers, but unable to do so, as since the 10-minute mark of that first period, the Gophers have been strong.
Well, and the Gophers did not have the old spit and vinegar that they usually have in this building, but they got it now. 5-2 Minnesota, long way from over. Gophers seldom lost in this building last year. In fact, they won 17 times and lost only 4 times. And one of those, the last time, was to North Dakota in the first game of the WCHA first round playoffs. McHugh actually fired it into Joe Dietzick back there. Dietzick along the end boards with Jared Olson on it. Penalty coming now on North Dakota's Mary Schreiber. Delayed penalty. Callahan is on the bench for the extra attacker. Now they'll try and take somebody with him, but I don't think anybody's thinking here. Chris McAlpine goes after Akil Adams. Walkman comes in. Dietzick is in the middle of it. There may not be a power play here. Akil Adams with his helmet off.
Akil Adams all night long has had a lot of verbal battles with the players, and you can see him right now.
Adams has got the helmet off. He's got the gloves down. McHugh with a couple of pops with the gloves off.
Well, keep that glove. It's just not a very good feeling when you have that glove rolling around in your face. Believe me, that's hard leather. And we've got Dietzick heading to the...
Zwackman is in first. Now McHugh and Akil Adams will be taking a breather with 4:24 to go in the second. Shepard and Borman have been ringing up doubles for roughing all night long, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see these guys again. Only 4:24 left in the period.
Well, we've got the 2-referee system back this year, both calling penalties, so we'll get a lot of extra penalties because 2 sets of eyes are much better. They can see a lot more things happening, not only around the puck, but away from the puck as well.
I don't know what's the matter with me. I haven't started subdividing my penalty part of my scorecard yet, and when these 2 teams play, that's...
I gave up on the penalty.
One of the first things you always have to do, so I'll start drawing a few extremely straight and neat lines here to begin subdividing things. Durance Vile being organized by referees Greg Shepard and Jay Borman here with 4:24 left in the second period. Minnesota 5, North Dakota 2. Weekends at 10, there's disorder in the court when you pay a visit to Night Court. Weeknights at 10, right before Love Connection at 10:35 here on KMSP TV, Channel 9. Look at Gino Gasparini. You saw Greg Shepard cautioning Gasparini. I would have a feeling, Tommy, that after a game like this has gone on for a while, Shepard and Borman might be just willing to gas somebody here if this goes on.
Well, last night, Gino was not very happy with the penalty call situation. He says his team was really put at a disadvantage because they weren't even close to being together. But if they're infractions, they're infractions,
yeah,
and they should be called. It isn't a matter of trying to balance things out.
Well, here's how it all began. Down buzzing around North Dakota's net and goalie, Jeff Lemke. It was big grinding on the end boards.
Well, Bonham was just trying to get that loose puck, not able to do so. And you can see that he was banged pretty heavily
That was the first penalty by Schreiner.
By Schreiner, right.
But then tempers took over. McHugh and McAlpine come grinding in on Akil Adams. They've been taking shots. I don't know what Adams did to somebody earlier, but they've been popping at him for much of the period.
You see Akil also, he gets the stick up in the glove, and he just takes a good hard swing with it at the same time, so he's got a little bit of leverage there too. But look how they're grabbing the face masks and everything. Everybody becomes very tough with the face masks and the helmets.
Everybody's a hero with the face mask on. So one of the referees said in the National Hockey League this year, there was the usual talking about getting rid of fighting. And he said, I'll tell you how to get rid of fighting. Get rid of the helmets. Fighting will stop in 5 minutes. There won't be any more fighting, or else there'll be 2 or 3 real spectacular ones, and that's it. The stick work would certainly diminish greatly in this league without the face mask, although you'll never see it. It's a protective device, and there are very good reasons for wearing it. Travis Richards is the Minnesota captain. Greg Johnson, the North Dakota captain, and they're over there. It's like Shep's reading him the riot act there, I'll tell you. What is that you're eating?
I don't know.
Don't bring it home.
Should not eat those baseballs.
It's one of those rubber baseballs. That kid is going to be seriously unhappy later on. A lot of roughing after the whistle penalties, I suspect, being assessed here. All Doug Woog can do is look on. Gino Gasparini is doing a little serious talking to down on the bench down there. He's got a little moment anyway when the guys need something to think about, I have a feeling. And so he's working on them over there. 4 minutes, 24 seconds remaining in the second period. Minnesota 5, North Dakota 2. With Tom Reed, Doug McLeod at Mariucci Arena in Minneapolis. I don't think I subdivided my scorecard enough.
No, I certainly didn't.
Well, let's see. Double minors for roughing after the whistle are going to Minnesota's Swakman, Chris McAlpine, and McHugh, as well as to North Dakota's Adams, Schreiner. That was a cross check originally to him. And double minor for roughing after the whistle to Matani. We'll catch up on those again. These two coaches here tonight, Doug Woog of Minnesota, Gino Gasparini of Minnesota, are the all-time win leaders at their respective schools. Gino Gasparini, who came in I believe it was 79, starts with 370 wins counting last night. Doug Woog looking for his 229th coming in. Lou Bjorkman and Fido Perper there right after Gino Gasparini, John Mariucci, and Brad Butow next in line behind Woog and the all-time career coaching wins at the school marks. Swakman, Chris McAlpine, and McHugh all get double minors for roughing after the whistle. For Minnesota, double minors for roughing after the whistle to Akil Adams of North Dakota, and also to Darcy Matani, and a double minor for cross-checking to Schreiner. Or did they give him a double? I'm not sure.
They gave him
a double because the teams are at full strength. I guess that was just to even it up, huh?
Schreiner got a cross-checking penalty.
Cross-checking, but apparently it was just a single penalty. That's right. So North Dakota will have a power play in 2 minutes. In other words, when that expires. Right now, teams are at full strength. 5-2 Minnesota with 3:55 to go in the second period. It is a 5-2 Gopher lead. Here's the puck in the North Dakota zone. That slides back into the Minnesota end. Jeff Callahan flinging it away to the corner, and there's North Dakota's Dean Grillo. Turn back out to neutral. Greg Johnson driving on Bear. Saved by Lemke.
Good shot by Johnson. He just had the right angle there, too. If he had taken another step, he would have lost that angle. So he got the quick backhand away, trying to go for the far side, but Lemke may come in with a good save.
Dean Grillo for the North Dakota Fighting Sioux. His dad is Chuck Grillo, formerly of the North Stars organization, head scout now for the San Jose Sharks of the National League, and has one of the better known hockey camps up north. Dean actually played at Warren High School. Apple Valley. Puck comes out to neutral ice and slithers into the Minnesota zone. Under 3 minutes to go in the second. 5-2 Gophers. Dan Treble there. The blade is broken off somebody's stick over there. Back out comes Magnuson for Minnesota. Shoots wide, rifles it wide. So hard that it rolls all the way back to the Minnesota zone, but they wave off icing and play goes on. Right in front of the net, and McKinnon banned on it. Oh, it was a beautiful play. I think it was Murphy that set it up from behind the net. Keith Murphy of North Dakota, who throws a hip check now and breaks up the Minnesota play at neutral ice. Treble chipped into the zone by Dietzick. North Dakota's Corey Howe is there, flings it up the near boards. Dietzick turns it back behind the net. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in the second. Down goes Lemke. The puck squirts free, but the Sioux knock it out of the zone. Here's Brandon Stegey back in his own zone now for Minnesota. Galloping through center with 2 minutes to go in the period. Stegey driving up there and Bear. Dietzick right in front of the net was checked. Stegey still holding. Here's Brian Bonin. A little bunt. Richards, it hit the skate of Reniak, kept in Stegey, tipped by Dietzick, but it went awry. Now Larson on the left wing. Dietzick fires, and it was turned away by the back checker, Corey Howe. And the net is knocked loose, I think, off that replacement standard, and that's finally why they will stop the play with 1 minute 37 seconds left in the second period. In fact, the standard came all the way out of the ice. It had been knocked off completely originally, and as you see, it's not very strong in its mooring now. 97 seconds left in the second period. 5-2 Minnesota. The Gophers have cranked on now 30 shots in the game, 18 in the period, and now in front of the North Dakota bench, Scott Bell. Several Gophers are there. Scott Curtin of North Dakota, everybody going at it in front of the North Dakota bench. Scott Bell was down in front, Curtin, and then reinforcements from both sides. Bell trying to wrestle his way loose, and he is not very happy with something that has occurred down there. You go at it right in front of the opponent's bench, you know the dander is up. I don't know what sparked that. Play obviously not underway. Scott Bell is going to go to the penalty box, and we'll see if anybody from North Dakota is going to go with him. I don't think so. Something tripped Scott Bell's trigger down there. One minute 37 seconds to go in the second period. It is 5-2 Minnesota. I don't know if we'll see this or not. Look at the bottom of your screen on the left side. Oh, there it was. There it was. It was Donnie Riendo who took a little shot at, who is that over there? Was that Dan Woog? And then Bell came in to do some police work. It was Donnie Riendo who took a little shot at one of the Gopher players whose number I did not catch there. And then Bell came in to have something to say about it. Take a look again. Go onto the bench. There's Riendo 17. There's the little pop. On to, what was that? Is it Craig Johnson? And then Scott Bell. Here's Craig Johnson down there as well. Curtin bent over there. Well, these pesky student athletes are mixing it up here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We won't see Donnie Riendo anymore. He's gone. He's the guy who threw the shot that started the whole thing. I'm sure Tom Reed had a couple of well-chosen words for him as he went by. They're both still standing, however, so apparently boys will be boys. Gophers leading 5-2 with 1:37 to go in the second period. And I think I'll give up on recording penalties at this point, too. We've still got 20 minutes to go. Tom Reed down there by the North Dakota bench. I don't know if you
Test 1, 2,
saw any of it. Yeah, we hear you. We hear you perfectly. He's on the air. Well, we hear Tom. Now let's see if we can hear Tom Reed. Did you see any of that, Tommy? You're right by the North Dakota bench down there.
Well, these guys are all so tall now, Doug. It's hard for me to see. As I came down here, all I saw was the action with all the players trying to get a piece of everybody else, and a lot of smiles on their faces, but a lot of intensity down here, too. Even Gino Gasparini had a little smile on his face, as both these teams, as we well know, like to mix it up a little bit.
Well, and as a coach, you definitely don't want a situation where the boys don't mix it up if things start going like that. You want to see that they're in the game. Scott Bell going by now. There's another good interview possibility, going to the dressing room early. Tom will be interviewing somebody at the end of the period. What they will do, of course, since the teams share the same runway in this building, but unlike most hockey buildings, have benches on the opposite sides of the ice, is that they will hold the Gophers in their bench area over on the far side, the north side, while the Sioux, who are right by the runway, will walk down to their dressing room. They share this. If you've not been in this building, they share the same flight of stairs. They go down that runway. You see the yellow-jacketed Mariucci Arena security people. Now Chad Johnson is leaving early also for North Dakota. They go through that door to the right, down a set of stairs, turn to the right again. The first door you get is the officials' room, which has been pounded on a few times over the years. The next door is the visitors' room, and then all the way down the hall is the Gopher dressing room. So they make sure there's no monkey business and everybody in the dressing rooms before they send anybody down. That's why they're sending them down one at a time. A North Dakota player, now another Gopher player, Steege, will go down. And there goes the Minneapolis police, just to make sure that law and order is maintained. Why Minneapolis police? Because campus police are not armed, and you don't want to go down there. Here are the penalties.
For roughing. And number 17, Donnie Riendu, disqualification, butt ending.
A game disqualification, and you saw the butt end.
On Minnesota's number 10, Scott Bell, 2 minutes for roughing after the whistle. And on number 13, Brandon Steege, 2 minutes for roughing after the whistle.
A game disqualification for butt ending on Donnie Riendu, who started the whole thing. And a word to our friends in Grand Forks, in case you think I'm homering the Gophers by saying that. I'm not. Thank you. Now here's Nick Nemenko for North Dakota. Right now, it is 4-on-4 hockey. I can't even begin to add up all the penalties at the moment. Time running down in the second period. Here's Greg Johnson. Now, puck loose in the North Dakota zone. Craig Johnson of the Gophers. Brad Bombardier of the Sioux. Flipped by Nemenko. Darby Hendrickson is there. It's 4-on-4 hockey. Tipped away by Greg Johnson. 1-0 for Greg Johnson. Save by Callahan. Greg Johnson on a brilliant piece of skating on a 1-0 break. But Callahan denied him the post, and the shot came off the side. Chris McAlpine now for Minnesota. Flings it in for a tip by Nielsen, and it just looked like it kissed the crossbar. Heavenly days, McGee. Here's Travis Richards back at his own line. Fell over the stick of Chris Gottsman. Richards throws it into Nielsen. Same play again, but it misfired. 4-on-4 hockey. Nielsen for Brill. 23 seconds left in the period. And there's where you miss your fifth guy who'd been over at left point. 15 seconds left in the second period. Gophers lead by 3. Shipped into the North Dakota zone. Now the Gophers giving a couple shots to Schreiner over in front of their bench. And that, mercifully, is the end of the second period. They'll hold the Gophers on the ice while the Sioux go down to their dressing room. Wow. The second period was brought to you by Coors Gold. Draft beer is back. Coors Gold. 40 minutes in the book. The score at the end of 2. The Minnesota Golden Gophers 5. The North Dakota Fighting Sioux 2. Channel 9 Primetime News Update is coming up.
Wow, great looking car.
93 Grand Am, but it's a sensible car.
You're right, you bought this car because it's sensible.
It's got air, automatic, and anti-lock brakes are standard.
It has